How's it guys, Munash here, and today we have Cosmic Ghost Rider against Abyss of Legends Killmonger. Now the first thing I want to say is CGR is not the best for this fight, simply because of the Abyssal ability, which will lower your offensive ability accuracy by 100% when you are using basic attacks, which means you won't be able to trigger the power gain or the vigilance buffs. And that makes a pretty big difference to his damage output and the way you play him, because without the power gain, it takes much longer to get to those special attacks, and just not being able to trigger those two buffs makes it more difficult to complete his judgment cycle. And I kind of already knew all this going into the fight, but I still wanted to try it out because I just had so many requests or questions asking about this fight. And the funny thing about it is, despite CGR being a bit gimped or handicapped for it, he still kind of works for it. Just because Killmonger is a villain, so he applies that permanent armor break at the start of the fight, which makes the fight so much easier to deal with, because you just completely and permanently shut down the vibranium armor, so you never have to worry about reverberation in this fight. The only real downside to using CGR for this fight, I guess, is the playstyle. Like there, I actually deliberately got hit by the heavier attack just so I could trigger an armor up buff to place a judgment on him. Then after the special 3, that'll complete the cycle. So I kind of went into this fight without really having a game plan or strategy. I mean, I had no idea what rotation I was going to use, because without the power gain, it's a very different fight. Or rather, CGR is a very different champion. So now after the special 3, I am just racing to get to the special 2 before the Fury buff expires. And it is not looking good. I also don't have any synergies because I wanted to make a more practical showcase, so my buff duration won't be at its best as well. And I'm just playing it cautiously by dropping 4-hit combos just so you can't evade and punish me on that 5th hit. Get to 2 bars of power with a bit of the Fury left, heavy cancel into special 2, but unfortunately the Fury expires just before the last 3 hits, the 3 hits that do the most damage. So sad. So after this I thought maybe the special 3 is not the best way to go, because I can't get to the L2 before the Fury expires, so I can't do that much damage with it. So I decided to adjust my rotation, so instead of using the special 3, I'll just throw a special 1 instead to finish the cycle a lot faster, since it's 1 bar of power compared to 3, and this should allow me to have a bit more uptime on the precision from the special 2, just because I'll be able to complete more cycles. But I'm still gonna be getting hit, because I need that 5th judgment, and getting hit is the fastest way to get it. I think the only other way to get it is by using a special 3, but that takes so much longer and uses so many more hits. I could just parry heavy to maximize damage per hit, but I just found that so much more boring. I don't know why, but with CGR, for me it just felt way more boring than using Magneto, who has a very similar playstyle. Maybe it's because the heavy isn't really rewarding. At least with Max, you're building prowesses and refreshing the heavy attack, which is kind of a mini game on its own, and then you get rewarded with some very nice special 3 damage. Whereas with CGR, once you apply the aptitude and get that judgment, the heavy attack doesn't actually do anything. It's just a means to an end, so I never really parry heavy that much to maximize damage per hit in this fight, cause I don't know, I just don't want to die of boredom I guess. But I still managed to get down this Killmonger in 2 revives with CGR. Actually I didn't use revives because I only fought him once, just didn't feel like using items on this fight because I was kind of bored of it. Maybe if I was on the CC beta I would have done the full fight, but you kind of already get the idea after one fight. And in this one fight I took him down to 60% health. So that's 40% in one go, which is pretty decent I think. I mean that's basically what I did with Corvus, actually slightly better than Corvus, but this is a rank 3 as well. Without any boosts, suicides or synergies, and with this stupid ass playstyle where you get hit at least once during every cycle. It's actually ridiculous. Maybe there is a better way to approach this fight, a better rotation I suppose, but I don't know it, and I just went with this because it kind of worked to a certain extent. I don't really like him for this fight, but I mean 2 revives is not bad at all. I mean it's actually pretty decent. My rank 5 Corvus also took 2 revives, but that fight was a bit more uncomfortable, but still not too bad, and I think my rank 3 might also use 2 revives, but a lot more comfortably, without suicides of course. So if you really want to solo this fight, then Magneto is the way. Actually Magneto and Professor X. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. I hope you guys found it interesting. As always, thank you for watching, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon.